Good afternoon, everybody. It's attorney Alexis Hart McDowell here, your Enterprise Esquire, handling all of your real estate and business formation needs nationwide. If you're located in the Chicagoland area, reach out to me if you're buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And if you're looking to start your business, 2020 is not lost. You can still form your business today. Reach out to us as well. We can form your business in any state, and you can get a free consultation so that we can help guide you. Go to enterpriseesquire.com and click on my calendar, and you'll be able to schedule an appointment and we'll be able to assist you. All right. So I'm coming on today to talk about one of the most popular questions that I get from sellers. Of course, they want to know what their bottom line is. They want to know, how much am I going to take away from this closing? So today's topic is the real cost of selling your home in Illinois. Now, sellers want to know their bottom line because they want to know whether or not, one, they're going to be able to pay off the mortgage balance if they have one, how much they're going to pay in commission fees, transfer taxes, property tax prorations, any village or municipal requirements, so they know what they're going to walk away from the closing with, how much money is going to be left in their pocket. That helps them determine, hey, I'm only going to do X amount of dollars in repairs, or I'm only going to give a certain amount of money in closing credits. And if they know this up front, then they're better able to make educated decisions with selling their home. So number one, as far as the costs go with selling your home, is of course going to be your mortgage payoff. How much money do you currently owe on your current loan, right? You need to pull a payoff statement. Your attorney is going to request that as well for the closing. You need your payoff statement to determine how much money do you owe on your current loan. Once you know that, you have a beginning figure of determining from the sales price minus your mortgage what you're working with. The next biggest portion that sellers end up paying is real estate commission fees. So real estate commission fees is what you're going to pay your realtor. Now, if you're the seller, you have a listing broker, right? They're the ones who put your home up for sale. They charge anywhere between 5 and 6% of the purchase price. Now, typically 6% is what I have been seeing lately. So you need to kind of use that figure, use the higher end figure when determining how much you're going to pay your realtor. Now, be mindful that they don't keep that full 6%. The realtor splits that with the selling broker, who is the one who brings you the buyer for your home. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you go with a broker with the lowest commission, because they use that money to pay for such things as professional photography, listing postcards, social media marketing. You may have a dedicated website for your home, open houses, even staging costs if you have the type of property that needs to be staged. So you really need to take into account what services the broker is providing you in light of the commission that they are charging. Next, you're going to have transfer tax. And the way that I explain this to clients is buying or selling some gum, going to pay tax. Buying or selling a house, going to pay tax. So it's called the transfer tax here in the state of Illinois. The tax will be due before the deed can be recorded in whatever county that you're located in. And there's little stamps that they put on the deed. The county recorder's office will put on the deed to state that you have paid the transfer tax. Now, I have a little worksheet here for you that I want to show you, because this is a very popular question that I do get from clients. All right, what you're looking at here is the breakdown of taxes between the buyer and the seller. So for example, we have a purchase price here of $250,000. In the city of Chicago, the total tax amount is going to be $2,625. And how they split that up is that the buyer pays $1,875 and the seller pays $750. In Cook County, it's going to be $125, and the seller is responsible for that full amount. And the state of Illinois, you pay $250, and the seller is responsible for that amount. So as you can see here in Chicago, you have to pay state of Illinois, your Cook County, and then the city of Chicago taxes. Those are the three transfer taxes here in the city that sellers have to be worried about. Okay, so just be mindful of that. That there's a different breakdown in who pays what. So for example, if this goes up to a $450,000 house, now you're looking at a total tax of $5,400, and the buyer is paying $3,375 of that, and the seller is paying $1,350 of that for the city of Chicago taxes alone. Overall, the buyer pays $3,375 and the seller is paying $2,025. So in Chicago, the seller is going to pay less than the buyer when all three taxes are added together. So that's a quick share there, so you all can see the breakdown for City of Chicago, Cook County, and the state of Illinois, and how the buyer and the seller splits that. After the transfer taxes, you might have some municipal requirements, and people forget about this. So the city of Chicago requires you to have a water cert. With any deed, a water cert is going to be required. Otherwise, you can't record that deed in Cook County. Be mindful of that. A water cert is going to cost you a paid in full water bill plus $50. In addition, you may have a zoning cert. Depending upon the type of deed that you have, a zoning cert is approximately $160. And depending upon whether or not you live in a village or a township or some other municipality, they may require you to have a pre-sale inspection that they charge for. They may require you to complete repairs that are required. I know Olympia Fields is one that does that as well. So you need to know the requirements of your village, your township, and your city to determine what fees you're going to come out of pocket as far as the municipal requirements are concerned. Next, we have title insurance, all right? And title insurance is a title search that's done to make sure that there's no liens or encumbrances on the property as you sell it to the buyer. So basically, you want to give the buyer clean title, okay? And so your attorney will work with the title company and search and clear the title to your property. Now, you as the seller will typically pay the owner's policy, and that starts at about $1,700. So that's going to definitely be one of your fees. The buyer will pay for the lender's policy. They will also pay the escrow fees. So the lender's policy starts at about $500, and the escrow fee is going to start at about $1,500, and those are buyer fees. Okay, so that's going to be on the buyer side of the HUD. Oh, and a little note here. Here's a pro tip, a pro savings tip, and a reason why you should use the Enterprise Esquire as your attorney when you're selling your home, because we do save our clients money. Most attorneys will utilize the services of the title company to procure your zoning cert and your water cert. That's required in the city of Chicago. The title company is going to charge for that. That's going to be about $180 to about $225, depending upon the title company that your attorney uses. At the law office of Alexis Hart McDowell, we get those items for you. So we don't charge you an additional $90 to get your water cert. We don't charge you an additional $90 to get the zoning cert. That's included in our attorney fee, and we get those items for you. That's a pro savings tip for those of you out there. And another way that distinguishes the law office of Alexis Hart McDowell from other attorneys. So reach out to the Enterprise Esquire so that we can help you in selling your home. After we have the title insurance, you have property taxes. Now, you should know what your property taxes are, but when it comes to closing, the title company is going to prorate them. All right. So whatever your closing date is from the beginning of the year through the closing date, the buyer did not own that home. So it'll be prorated that many days, and that will show up on the HUD. So you will pay that at closing, as well as any installments that remain outstanding. So if you have past due property taxes, those will have to be paid in full at closing as well. Okay. After that, you may have some things such as the buyer's closing costs. You may have said, yes, I will give the buyer a $4,000 closing cost credit. Well, that's going to show up on the HUD as well. And you need to consider that while adding up your closing costs so that you know what you're going to walk away with from the closing, right? Now, closing costs, you can start with a low number, and then as you go through the attorney review and inspection period, the buyer always comes back and asks for either a repair credit or additional closing costs, and you can possibly increase it at that time, but don't blow the bank on your closing costs all the way up front. And typically buyers can get up to, I believe, 6% 6% in closing costs, depending upon the type of loan that they have. So you don't have to hit the full 6% at the very beginning. So give yourself a little wiggle room, or at least know how much you have to spend or what your break-even point is and how much you can maximize out on your closing costs, so that you don't do yourself a disservice by giving so much in closing costs up front, and then now you have to come out of pocket to actually sell the house. So be mindful of that. You also have repair requests. For example, the buyer may do an inspection of the home and say something with the faucet needs to be fixed or the roof needs to be fixed. You're going to have to pay a contractor to come out to fix those items prior to closing. That's coming out of your pocket. Another thing is that the buyer may say, hey, I'll fix it myself, or I'll handle it after closing, but give me a credit for it. So that's another dollar amount coming out of your pocket. And depending upon what the quote is from the contractor and what the buyer is asking for in credits, you may have a little wiggle room there. Another expense that you may have is a home warranty fee. For example, the buyer may ask for a home warranty. That can go all the way up to about $600, depending upon what plan. Now, they typically always ask for appliance and systems repair coverage. So that is probably the highest plan that most home warranty companies offer. So be sure to check with your broker on that. You may have to have a pest inspection. You may be required to have some type of inspection, and that, depending upon what type of inspection it is, it could range from $100 to $150. Also, you may have to provide a survey. Now, that is typically required in our contracts unless it is removed. And a survey is going to run you from $425 all the way up to $525, depending upon the type of house that you have and the surveyor that you use. And that survey has to be new. You can't use the one from when you purchased it. They usually want a survey within no more than 6 months old, right? And then, of course, you're going to have your attorney's fees. And that is going to be whatever your particular attorney charges, and that will show up on the HUD as well. And then I also want to give another small note about miscellaneous charges. So you could end up with $500 extra in fees just from the title company. They will charge for email package fees, wire fees. They'll charge for delivery fees. They'll charge money to get the municipal requirements, the zoning, the water, the transfer stamps. They'll charge all of that, and that can add up. So it can be up to an additional $500 that you're going to see on the HUD that are associated with title charges. So we have gone through everything associated with selling your home in Illinois and all the costs associated with it. We talked about the mortgage payoff. We talked about your real estate commission. We talked about the transfer tax. We talked about municipal requirements, title insurance, the additional miscellaneous fees associated with title insurance. We talked about property taxes, buyer's closing costs. We talked about repair costs. We talked about home warranty fees. We talked about pest inspections, survey expenses, and your attorney's fees. That is so many fees just to sell your home in Illinois. That's why you have to have a grasp on how much any one of these costs, and how it affects your bottom line as well, so that you can have the best sale possible by earning yourself the best return on your home investment. And if you're looking to buy or sell or invest in real estate in the Chicagoland area, give me a call. I'm the Enterprise Esquire, Alexis Hart McDowell. You can reach me at enterpriseesquire.com. And I look forward to being of service with you all. If you have any questions, reach out to me, schedule that free 15-minute consultation, and I'd love to be of service to you. Take care, everybody, and have a great afternoon.